And today we're talking about how to make money with Credit Suite by offering business credit financing. Look, I do so much free information out there that oftentimes people ask me, and I forget to mention exactly how we make it easy for you to offer business credit financing as a service. Matter of fact, as you'll learn through this training, a lot of loan brokers currently in the space, a lot of people out there offering business credit are secretly using us to do all the work behind the scenes. And that's exactly what we're going to walk through today. Today, we're going to talk about how you can easily get started, make money as a loan broker with Credit Suite as a partner. We're also going to talk about business credit financing and why these are in such high demand. Look, and it's going to increase. When we saw COVID come in to play back a couple of years ago, it was hockey stick growth for us and our partners because when the economy changes, business owners need money. More businesses start, and also the businesses that are already in existence need access to cash. So we're going to talk about today why business credit financing is in such high demand and what's going to happen over the next couple of years where it's going to be even higher demand. We're going to talk about how to offer loans. We're going to talk about how to offer credit lines. We're going to talk about how to offer business credit as well to your customers so you have an all the way around financial solution that can help any business owner with a business. We're going to talk about how to access training. We're going to talk marketing materials, growth strategies, everything you need to succeed. It's one thing to just get the ability to offer credit lines, loans, and business credit. It's another thing to like have everything you need to market it, promote it, know how to get everything involved to be able to actually sell. We're talking about how to have the work done for you while you bring in the cash. Look, a lot of our partners, thousands of our partners are out in the country right now offering business credit financing, and they're not doing the servicing work. All the work of helping the customer get credit, helping the customer get financing is handled for them. They're making the sale and making a lot of money. We're going to talk about a lot of those things today as we dive in. We're going to talk about how to earn $2,000 plus per customer in front end commissions while earning a lot of money in the back end as well. Look, Federal Trade Commission disclosure. I don't know how much you're going to make. Ultimately, as you'll learn about today, you're the one that sets the price of what you offer services for. And in setting the price, you determine how much money you're actually going to make. But today, we're going to talk about what our actual typical partner is selling the actual business credit financing for. We're going to talk about margins. We're going to talk about a lot of those things to answer some of your questions. So, are you in the right place? Well, look, if you're interested in a lucrative career as a business loan broker and a Credit Suite partner, then you're in the right place. If you are looking to come in and make money with business credit financing, and if your job or income were adversely affected in the new economy, or you, like so many others involved in the Great Resignation, are just kind of sick and tired of working for the man and want to actually get out there and run your own business as a primary or a secondary business, we're going to talk about a lot of those things today as well. If you want to start a new business or enhance an existing business, we're going to talk about how you can add this as a secondary service or even launch this as a business in itself. If you want to help other entrepreneurs succeed and you get that joy of helping people and actually seeing that they come in, they have an idea, they help people in a business, you get them money, and then they grow and scale that business to new heights. If that's something that excites you, we're going to talk about how to make that happen today. And if you're looking to earn really high commissions, what I've learned about selling and dedicating my life to financial services and sales is that you can sell something worth $100 or you can sell something worth $5,000. And typically the closing percentages and the work involved with making a sale is very similar between the two. So you might as well as focus on the higher dollar sell because that's what takes the same amount of work but puts more money in your pocket. We're going to be diving into that today. We're going to talk about how you can earn recurring revenue with business credit financing. Anybody that teaches you offer loans is not talking about this. And we're going to talk about exactly how you can earn consistent and recurring income as well with offering business credit financing. And look, if you don't like regulation headaches, I came from consumer credit. I owned a consumer credit repair business. And I got to tell you, we could only advertise in certain states. We had to have certain kind of bonding. We couldn't charge up front. So if you're in an industry that has all these kind of regulation headaches, we're going to talk about how you can offer business credit financing with zero of those issues that we see in so many other industries. If you are sticking around at the end, well, then I'm going to get you some really cool bonuses. I'm going to get you 30 days worth of free access to your DMB, Equifax, and Experian business credit reports. Those are about $250 if you get them directly from the Bureau. You're going to get a playback of this. A lot of people ask for playbacks. You're actually going to get a playback of the event. You're going to get a fundability assessment so we can help you fix what gets the majority of people denied for financing. We're going to get that right for you so you can see how positive an impact it is with your ability to get money, and you can pass on that training to your clients as well. And we're also going to do a no-cost business credit assessment to see where you are, give you advice to move forward there, and a finance assessment, because a lot of entrepreneurs don't think they can get money, and they can. As a matter of fact, at the very end or near the end, I'm going to talk to you about one of the most successful credit lines we've ever seen that we're actually helping our clients get a lot of right now, and tell you some success stories there. For those that don't know me, my name is Ty Crandall. I've got 20 years plus in the financial services industry. I speak about this worldwide. I literally just got back from Miami Sunday night. So Sunday night, all weekend, I was talking about business credit financing and offering as a service over the weekend in Miami. I'm going to Las Vegas in a few weeks, and then I've got to jump to another seminar in Las Vegas as well, amongst many others. So this is not something that I'm just some overnight guru on YouTube that did this for myself, and now I'm telling you it can be done. I talk about this all over the world. I've written the 2 best-selling books on consumer and commercial credit, and you also see me everywhere from TV, radio, news stations. In the last few months, I've been on Fox, ABC, and NBC. I've featured in Inc., Entrepreneur, Forbes as well. And I also oversee the largest business credit partner division in the United States. So what that means is if you look at all the loan brokers, everybody offering business credit financing in the countries of service, I'm blessed to have an opportunity to oversee the largest amount of them, thousands and thousands, that we help here at Credit Suisse succeed in this space. And I only tell you this just so you know that I'm qualified to have the conversation with you today. Because look, nowadays with TikTok and with YouTube, you've got a lot of overnight gurus come in that get a business credit card and then think they're going to teach the world exactly how it can work for them. But the problem is, what I found in helping 50,000 business owners through this process is that what's unique to one person is usually unique to them, and it doesn't work for other people. So today we're going to talk about what we have found in helping 50,000 business owners can work for the masses, so you can actually take this training and use it to be able to make money by helping a lot of people. So nearly 50,000 business owners we've helped through this process, ranked one of the best entrepreneurial companies in America by Entrepreneur Magazine. The Inc. 5000, the only years we've ever applied, 1920, and we'll be on there in 2021 as well. A+ rated with the BBB, hundreds of positive online reviews, video reviews. And again, the company itself has been featured a lot of places, not saying it to boast, but that we're qualified here to be here to have the conversation. So let me give you some of my past history. I only discuss this about once every 2-3 months, but I was at an event. I know this touches a lot of people, so I want to kind of give you an idea of what brings me here today to be able to actually talk to you about this. So the first company I ever owned was a mortgage company. And I built it up, 7 figures, made it successful. Then the mortgage crisis occurred and the business started to crumble. We had no revenue. We had to shut down the office, had to lay off employees. I used personal funds to try to help employees stay employed as long as possible. But the reality is, it didn't work. In the end of the day, the business ended up shutting down, and I went from having a very successful and profitable business to not having one. I went through, almost filed for bankruptcy, did all the paperwork, paid the bankruptcy attorney, backed out, and decided to fight my way back at the very end. Foreclosure, cars repossessed. And I lived the scenario that a lot of business owners can potentially live, where I personally guaranteed my business debts. My business debtors reported on my personal credit report as a result, ruined my personal credit. All my available credit on my personal credit cards was removed because when they saw business debts on my credit report, they all lowered my limits to what I owed, which destroyed my personal credit scores. They cleaned out my bank account, literally took money that was there, and it was all taken by the banks that I owed money to for business debts, wiped out my personal bank accounts as well. And in 2 of my lowest moments, I remember literally sitting in front of my garage on the ground. My air conditioning had been turned off in the middle of summer, and I'm trying to pass bad checks to get the air conditioning turned back on. And I also remember moving out of the home that was built to raise my kids, with my wife at the time sitting there embracing, and the lights of the moving truck is the only thing I saw outside. And she's asking me, why is this happening? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And the reality is, I did know I'd failed. And there's nothing worse that I've experienced in my life than going through that and failing in my ability to provide for my family. So after this, it really made a big shift in my life. And I decided to stop selling. and decided to legitimately get into a business to help people. And it might sound cliche, but it was like a switch clicked on that all of a sudden I felt pain I didn't want others to feel. And I wanted to rescue them and try to help them avoid that same pain. So I opened a consumer credit repair company, started fixing consumer credit. And then what happened was a lot of our clients along the way started to ask about business credit as well. And I didn't know anything about it. So I kind of did what a lot of us do. I Googled the answer really quick while I was trying to stall to be able to give them some educated answer, even though I knew nothing about business credit. This was a time where there were no gurus on YouTube. There was no videos on YouTube. You couldn't even find training on business credit on any social platform or even Google until you got into the deeper pages of Google. And one night, enough people to ask me about this that I decided to sit at my desk here and figure it out. And it was about middle of the morning. You could probably relate. I would, spend time with the family. They would go to bed and I'd go back to work, as a lot of entrepreneurs do when we're launching businesses. And I dove into what business credit was. And what I found shocked me. What I found was it was the ability to avoid everything that I just went through. If I wouldn't have personally guaranteed my business debts in the mortgage company, I personally wouldn't have been drugged to almost personal bankruptcy, money wiped out of my accounts, personal credit ruined, foreclosures, repossessions. All that could have been avoided if I just would have separated my consumer and my commercial credit. And I became very frustrated that nobody was talking about this and went off of what I was taught by my parents, which is you don't complain about a problem unless you're willing to propose a solution. And I decided to learn how this works and start teaching it in real time. And this is actually a snapshot of one of the very first slides I ever did that actually explains what business credit building is, where I actually started to learn how all this process works and teach it to the masses. Now, fast forward to today, I've been able to use what I've learned to successfully sell my consumer credit business many years ago, sit and build from the ground up an 8-figure business here and put millions into software that really streamlines and simplifies the process for business owners to now successfully build business credit, to get access to the same credit the big companies have, and also make it easier than it's ever been to be able to access loans and credit lines as well. But look, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Most entrepreneurs don't even think you can get money with bad credit. A lot don't think that you can get money without collateral, or you can get money as a startup without verifying your income. A lot of people think you can't get money just because they've been turned down before. A lot don't realize that any business can build business credit, and a lot of money can be obtained without a personal guarantee. So if you're in that same house as so many other entrepreneurs where you have these beliefs, I'm going to shatter every single one of these today during the training. I'm going to walk through, and every single one of these, I'm going to show you how all of this is possible. How it's possible to get money with bad credit, without collateral, even if you're starting a business, even if you've been denied before. How any business can qualify for business credit, how to actually successfully get business credit, including bank credit, Visa, MasterCard credit, without personal guarantees. And I'm even going to give you exact insight, tips, and tactics to cut years off this process and make it happen in only months. Now, I know a lot are going to have questions, and this is what's happening right now. I'm simultaneously running a webinar and live streaming to over 19 different platforms. So a lot of you are going to have questions, and when they are coming in, I want you to know I'm going to stay around to the end of this to make sure all those questions are answered. So if I don't get your questions during this, it's because we got a lot to cover, more than we typically do. I want to be conscientious of everybody's time. So I'm going to make sure I get the information and content. Then I'm going to hang around and I'm going to answer your questions. And those people that are coming in, like Anita, hey, from Atlanta, thanks for saying hello. And don't forget to give me a shout out, because I always like to say hi to you, even though I can't say hi to everybody today because too many people will be here. Mark from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in and saying hello. And thanks everybody in the chat and the webinar as well for saying hello. Okay, so still, getting money for businesses is hard. Okay, let's address the second elephant in the room. Per the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, more than half of businesses fail in the first handful of years they're around. 82% of them have to do with issues with cash flow. That's pretty crazy. Most businesses fail. Over 80% of the failures, the issues are related to cash flow, and that's a U.S. bank study. And a staggering 90% of business owners agree that availability of loans is a problem, and more than half of business owners say this is what keeps them up. This is what weekly they worry about the most. So this is really telltale. If you're interested in offering business credit financing, it goes to show you a couple things. First of all, it is overwhelmingly a really big problem that business owners are trying to get money to survive. They're failing and they're going out of business. It's a massive problem, right? Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of businesses every year are going out of business because of this problem. The second thing we see is that this is the biggest concern business owners have. It's what they think about, it's what keeps them up at night, it's what they struggle with weekly. So, what I found is that if you really want to be successful as an entrepreneur, you've got to find really big problems to solve. And when you go after and solve really big problems, that's when you can help the most amount of people. And it's also where you're able to come in, have the biggest impact as well, and still kind of really create a very lucrative business as well, because there's a lot of people you can help, and the value you're providing is so valuable that people will gladly pay a lot of money for it. So look, in a COVID-19 world, business owners need access to capital more now than ever. It's why our partners offering business credit financing and us just saw hockey stick growth. We call it hockey stick because it looks like a hockey stick, right? It's almost straight up growth. Well, that straight up growth occurs because what happens is whenever the economy shifts, overwhelming year, every time that we've seen this happen, we see that people start creating businesses at a record number. So if you think about it, we kind of have this steady pace of people starting businesses. Then when the economy changes, it just goes up. And the reason for that is because people lose their job. They don't like the unpredictability about it. They get their hours cut. They finally get fed up and decide they're going to take their fate into their own hand and they start businesses. But at the same time, business owners that already own businesses are also out looking for capital to ride out the storm, right? The economy changes, there's a recession, COVID hits, whatever it may be. And again, it's really all the experts are saying we're looking at recession over the next 2 years. When this happens, business owners start stocking up on cash to weather the storm and navigate what's happening. So this is why we see this overwhelming increase in demand when it comes to economic changes. And that makes it an amazing time to talk to business owners about business credit and financing, because again, this could be a really powerful primary or secondary way of making money because it is in such demand and it's going to get even greater demand as we see this economy shift over the next year or 2 years. So how do you do this? How can you help business owners succeed? Well, we found a formula. It's basically 3 parts. And the first part of the formula is what we call fundability. Basically, what we find is that you've got loan brokers and people that offer loans. And all they do is they take an application and they say, yes or no, I can help the person. And if it's yes, they go help the person. And if it's no, well, sometimes they don't even call that person back. That person is no value to them. But what loan brokers don't do and don't realize is that the most people that get denied, the statistics are staggering. The vast majority of people that do get denied for things that can easily be fixed and changed. It's just how their business is structured and how that structure looks to a lender or credit issuer. But when you get that done, all of a sudden, all these brokers that are throwing away leads because they don't think they can help them, you're back here picking them up, helping them all, being able to get the money that other people can't get. So this gives you a huge advantage in this space. And it's something that most in the financial services industry offering financing do not get, they do not know, they do not understand if they're not like partnered with a company like Credit Suisse. We're the only ones that do this, that actually decode fundability, as I'm going to do for you today. Because once you figure this out, you can help a lot of people that others in the industry just can't help. The second thing is you got to figure out business credit, because when you build business credit, you've got 2 major advantages. First of all, business credit's what controls a business owner's ability to get approved or denied, how much money they get, and the rates and terms they're going to pay. So if you're in the business of helping business owners get money, you want to get more approved for more money at better terms. And business credit's the key to that. It's as important as a business getting money at good terms as personal credit is for you doing the same. And the third thing is that in the second part about business credit is it also gives you a catch-all when you can't get people financing. You see, people out there that are just offering loans and credit lines, they're only able to help statistically 20-30% of the people they talk to on the high end. So that means 70-80% of people they can no longer help. Business credit gives you the ability to help everybody get money, even the people that can't get other kind of loans and credit lines. So again, what's happening now is if you're going to be in the business of offering business credit financing, you are standing above and beyond the rest. You understand how to change the game to help people get funding that these other brokers and people offering financing don't even understand. You're off making money on business credit people that these guys down here can't even begin to help. So now you're really monetizing and maximizing your income and increasing your ability to help more people. And the third thing is you have to have the ability to offer financing. You have to have the ability to offer loans and credit lines. And it's not one or two. And that is the problem. Most banks, most fintech lenders, most loan brokers, they only offer one or two kind of products, which means there's a very small slither of people that could actually help. But if you have the ability to offer every kind of funding product that exists, well, then you can help startups. You can help people with bad credit. You can help people with unsecured money, which means you don't need collateral. You can help people with no doc funding. All these obstacles that get everybody denied when they're only dealing with one or two funding programs, you don't have to deal with that. You can help the vast majority of people get money through one of these three things. So let's decode these three things. The first thing is about fundability. So more than likely, you understand what I'm talking about because you've went to get a credit card and you received an automated approval or that dreaded message that you'll hear by mail in 7 to 10 days. Well, the reason that you get that almost instantaneous when you enter your info is that lenders and credit issuers kind of have a secret unpublished set of standards that you've got to meet to get approved. And these standards are basically programmed into their computer. And there's like a series of checks that a computer is looking for. And if there's a check all across the whole list that they have, well, then you're good to go. But if there's an X, well, then that means you've got problems. That means you're going to face greater underwriter scrutiny or even get denied altogether. So how fundable your business is determines if you get those automated approvals or not. And the vast majority of business owners that get denied, it's estimated over 60% that get denied are denied because they just don't meet this basic criteria. Okay. And a simple example of this is if you remember back in grade school, if you ever had a mean teacher who would fail you on an assignment because you forgot to put your name on the piece of paper. I don't know if you ever had that happen to you or someone in your class. It's the same thing here. Imagine doing perfect on the math assignment, forgetting your name and failing because you forgot something as basic as your name. That's exactly what fundability is. You could have easily qualified. You met the criteria, but you didn't meet a few basic things you easily could have adjusted, and that is what ultimately gets you denied. So what we found in improving fundability is that there's a lot of things that are included here. The type of entity you have, that matters, meaning, that lenders don't like sole proprietors and they like other entities like corporations better. You don't want to use a mobile phone or a home phone. You need to use something like a business phone number. It needs to meet criteria like being toll free and being listed in certain directories. You need to have a fax number if it asks for one on the application. Okay. You should have a business address and it should be a certain type of address, not a PO box or a UPS or an iPostal type address. As a matter of fact, if you use the wrong kind of address, then you'll get denied altogether. And if you get the wrong kind of address, like a home address, some sources will deny you and some will approve you, but a lot will. And by the way, that's the problem with fundability. The problem with fundability is it creeps up on you, and most business owners don't even know about it because sometimes they get approved if they don't meet certain criteria and sometimes they don't. And because of that, they never relate back that the problem is a fundability item because they're like, well, this guy approved me. Well, yeah, some will and others won't. And again, I might even walk you through and give you a little walkthrough of exactly how we do this for our clients, because this is exactly how this looks, is that when we look at lenders and underwriters and we look at their actual underwriting guidelines, what we find is that some have certain criteria to approve you while others don't. And a simple example of that is Amazon notoriously will approve you for business credit cards if you're using a home address. But Walmart never would. Walmart would never issue you a corporate credit card if you're not actually coming in and you're using a home address. So you go and get an Amazon and you think you're fine, but then you get a Walmart, you get denied, and you don't know that the one thing that Amazon approved you for, Walmart didn't approve you for because they care and Amazon doesn't care. And this is the problem with fundability. And a better way of actually explaining this is just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. And if we look at our finance suite, which is the system we use to help clients get approved for business credit financing, we can just come in here and let me just look here, for example, at one source. Let's look at Crown Office Supplies. So we can see here that we list the underwriting guidelines for every source. And you can see here that they have to have other vendors with a credit limit of 800 or higher to get approved. Well, that's the only requirement of Crown. Nobody else has that. I've never even seen that requirement besides with this source. So if you don't know that, you're going to go get denied and not realize that their fundability item has to do with this. They want you to have a paydex score, for example. Okay. They want you to have a DUNS number. But other sources that we look at don't have those same requirements. So let's go down here and let's look at Sunoco, for example. So if we look at Sunoco, they do require a DUNS number, but they do require a paydex score. They don't want you to just have credit with DNB. They want you to have a certain credit score. They want you to have your phone number listed with 411. Crown Office Supplies didn't even care about that thing. They don't need you to come in and only have an $800 limit account somewhere else. So this is what's interesting is that being that we have all the underwriting guidelines for all these sources, it makes it easy for clients to be able to get business credit financing, but it goes to show you the problem with fundability. Some sources have requirements here and others don't. So if you get fundability in line and you get all of this done right, then you're going to go out and start getting massive amounts of approvals for credit and financing and credit and lending. Because again, you meet all the criteria that these lenders and credit issuers have. But if you miss even one of these things, some sources will approve you and others won't. The type of licensing you may have, making sure all of your information is congruent and the same listed online, the most important item above all. Because the reason is that the first and primary reason that applications for financing get denied is because they think it's fraud. They don't even think the application's legit. And it's because your Secretary of State information doesn't match your application data, doesn't match your Facebook data, doesn't match the other directories online. Very common. What happens is we change our address. We never think about going to Secretary of State, IRS, Facebook, and updating the address. We don't even think about it. And so now all of a sudden our address is listed different everywhere online. And when lenders crawlers go out and pull all that data in, then they see just a mismatched a bunch of data that looks like they're separate companies, not even the same company. They have a hard time verifying that the company applying even legitimately exists and it's the same one listed in all of these places. The type of references you have matters into your fundability, whether you have a bank account set up for the business, your website, your email being set up, numbers like your EIN, your DUNS number, your BIN number from Experian. So these are all fundability factors that we've got to get right. If we don't get these right, we don't get the financing. And this is a matrix that our team, you're going to see 3 matrices. I'm going to pull back the curtain today and show you internal documents that we use to have success with our clients. This is what we call our fundability matrix. This is what our team looks at to make sure the right way to be able to come in and qualify for credit and financing. So we can see personal credit, business credit, the foundational stuff, which I just mentioned, that's all foundation. The financials, the application process. So if we look at this, I just today discussed some basic stuff here on the foundational one. We didn't even get a chance to talk about what still accounts for 70% plus of fundability, because I could be here for 3 hours just going through what we found that's important. But the idea here is the same. You've got to be able to come in and understand what it takes on a foundational level to get somebody approved, because when they meet that criteria, you're going to turn a lot of denials into approvals. Charlotte, North Carolina is in the house, South San Francisco Bay Area, Anthony Williams from Fort Worth, Texas, and Patterson, New Jersey is in the house. Thanks everybody for saying hello. So here's what's interesting. Even the slightest change to one fundability standard can turn a denial into an approval. And I should have included right here my favorite testimonial, one of my favorite of all time. And I didn't, so I'll walk you through it. The Samples started a business by selling an old pickup truck and a flat screen TV. They got $1,200. They launched the business. They got invested with business credit. And what they found was they'd applied for a loan and got denied from the bank. They also applied for an American Express card and got denied. So when they came to us, we did an experiment. And we said, look, the very first fundability check we look at is, does your application match your Secretary of State? Yours doesn't. Let's do nothing else. Let's just change Secretary of State, make it match, and then run you back through and see what happens. They said, that's crazy, but okay. We did. They went from denial on Amex to no limit American Express approval. They went from loan being denied to loan being approved. And in their own words, they get new offers in the mail every week. And they say that's a really good problem to have. One change in fundability. One. So even the slightest change makes all the difference, because when you understand what lenders and credit issuers are looking for, then you're able to meet that criteria. Then you run it back through. That's what then gives you all those checks and lets it go past their actual approval system to get the actual money that you want to get. So most loan captioning, again, are denied because of those potential fraud concerns. That's why we've got to have congruencies. And we've also got to understand that there's a whole secret system happening behind the scene that we as entrepreneurs don't know. You see, when I decided to learn about business credit and teach it, I did so because I realized that big businesses had this and small businesses didn't know how to get it. So I said, I'm going to change that. I'm going to make sure I learn everything about how it works, teach it to the world, and help even the playing field so small business owners can come in and successfully build business credit like the big boys can. And then I didn't realize how deep the rabbit hole went. I didn't realize that there were bank ratings and there were check systems, credit scores, and reports that I had never seen and never known about that were actually used to look at how I manage my bank accounts, how I pay my how I manage my bank account, how many bank accounts I have, how many different types of accounts I have at the bank, how much money I got going in versus coming out, my balances in the bank account, NSFs. All of that is put into multiple different credit scores that lenders are used to make decisions about me. I didn't know that there was a LexisNexis credit report. Mine is 300 plus pages wide. And that LexisNexis credit report has everything that you don't think anybody knows about you. It has every car that you've ever owned, the EIN number, the insurance policies you've had, every home that you've ever had, every address you've ever lived at, the building materials of your house, the square footage, the homeowners association. Literally, your LexisNexis tells the kind of air conditioning units that you actually have in your home. It's staggering. Every license you've had issued, every license you've had revoked, your marriage license, your divorce records, every email, phone number you've ever had in your entire life, every business you've ever been associated with, any kind of credit that they actually have that's actually applied for online as well, on and on and on. Every time you've ever had a misdemeanor, a felony, a speeding ticket, it's all on that credit report as well. You think that nobody knows about judgments, bankruptcies because they're not on your consumer credit? They're all on LexisNexis. Anybody that ever went through and tried to dispute a public record with TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, and it was verified and it created frustration, you know who they verify it with? LexisNexis. They're the ones that everybody's getting their data from: law enforcement, insurance companies, lenders, credit issuers, suppliers. They're all getting it from this credit report most of us don't even know exists. And when you get the report, it's the most intrusive thing you'll ever see in your life. And the fact that anybody at will could get all that data about you is pretty scary. But it doesn't stop there. We've got Experian, we've got Equifax, we've got Dun & Bradstreet. We've got Equifax and Experian who will give you failing business credit scores even when you have zero credit. We have the Small Business Financial Exchange, the SBFE, that takes all banks openly share data amongst each other. You go apply for a Wells Fargo credit card. Did you realize that Bank of America then has all that application data? That's what the SBFE does. They openly share all of the data amongst each other. This is the rabbit hole that has sent me down. And it made me realize that all these sources are what lenders and credit issuers are checking, all these databases to look for fraud, to look for congruency. And that's one of the biggest factors that they're actually using to get you approved or denied. So this is why fundability is so important. When you pull back the curtain, you know where lenders are getting their data. You know what they're looking at to determine approval. Now what can happen is we can start giving them exactly what they want to be able to get approved. We can come in and just tee it up perfectly with the perfect credible business that meets all of their standards where they want to give us money. And that's the key. That's the difference I found in helping 50,000 business owners through this process. So many are trying to get money, but if you really look at how their business is set up, even they wouldn't lend money to themselves. Others are just getting started in business, but are able to structure their business flawlessly So it looks highly reputable to lenders and credit issuers. And even the new business that's structured properly always beats out the one that's been open for years and has done things the wrong way. That's the importance of fundability. So business owners need to improve every aspect of fundability. They need to know what's on their credit reports, what's being reported about them, and these secret behind the scenes reports to have the best chance of getting approved. So let me walk you through and tell you a little bit of a story about how this applied to one of our clients. And so now I actually want to dive into Herman Dulce. Now, Herman, quote, with Credit Suite, your one-on-one consultant call within 24 hours of signing up. They call at least 5 times a week in the first 2 weeks. And then after that, even though it's been several years, I've been with them. My one-on-one consultant still calls me on Wednesday without fail, and that's absolutely incredible. My favorite line of credit I got using Credit Suite's a $10,000 Amazon card. I used to purchase things low and sell high on different marketplaces. I was also able to get a 40,000 Amex card. None of my accounts show on my personal credit report, so if I max them out, it doesn't hurt me personally. So I was able to purchase 2 properties in Cleveland, Ohio, and it's been a blessing. Unquote. So what's interesting here about Herman is that he was one of these people that didn't have his stuff congruent. And once we actually got that congruency, now he started getting approved for vendor credit at places like Amazon. He got a $40,000 Amex. And he, like a lot of us entrepreneurs, is running multiple endeavors and was then able to even offer business credit financing as a service as well, creating a whole other income stream that he's successfully been able to scale. So if you're interested along the way, and we'll talk about it at the end, we've got a great opportunity. If you are interested in offering business credit financing through us at creditsuite.com/webinar. And if you are checking that out, we've got $10,000 worth of bonuses that we're giving away this week as well. So you'll see I'll mention that throughout. Just wanted to give you the link. The link's on the bottom of our slides as well. So business credit building. Look, when you get a home mortgage, when you get a car loan, when you get a personal credit card, do you think lenders are looking at your credit report? Of course they are. We know they are. But what most people don't realize, surprisingly, is that business credit's exactly the same way. When you go to get an insurance policy, when you go to get a loan, a credit card, a credit line, then people are looking at your business credit reports to make those determinations. They determine if you're approved or denied, how much money you're going to get, the rates and terms you're going to pay as well. And it goes much deeper than that, because it's also your reputation. Anybody that wants this report can get it. Your prospects, your clients, your competitors, people that want to invest in your company, people that want to buy your company. They're all getting this data to make all kinds of decisions about you. And as I mentioned, Equifax and Experian will give you failing credit scores even when you have no credit. So you can see here that this about as high risk as you can get. You high risk, low risk. You're about as high risk as you can get. And you can see here that it's the reasons for lack of trades. I mean, there's 0 accounts on this credit report. It's an empty credit report where somebody's seen about a high risk as you can get. And by the way, this score, the financial stability risk score, it literally depicts the business's risk of filing bankruptcy, closing your doors, ceasing operations. Every bureau defines it differently, but it all has to do with the fact that your business fails. And what the Bureau is saying is just because you don't have business credit, you're about a higher risk of failure as you. This is telltale of how important the business credit reporting agencies are telling lenders and credit issuers you not having credit will be. And by the way, this right here is a large part of the customers we help. They come in with $1 million, $3 million, $10 million businesses, and rightfully so, chest puffed out a little. They built a 7-figure business. They built an 8-figure business. It's not an easy thing to do. They walk around with their head high. They got their chest puffed out. Then they walk into a bank and they get denied auto financing. They get denied a credit line. They get denied a loan. Even worse, they had a credit line. The credit line gets canceled and pulled back and demanded to be paid off within 30 days. And the reason from the lender is your business credit has got some issues. It's not going to work. That's why we're denying you. That's why we're calling your credit line due. And all of a sudden they go from head high, puffed out to this. They say, what's happening? Why is my business credit bad? And this is what we see. We pull the business credit report and we see nothing, an empty report. Now, the good news is it's easier to fix. The bad news is that it puts them behind the 8 ball, because at this point, they're usually waiting for credit financing. They thought they had a really good, respectable business. They thought they were paying people on time, and those people were reporting to the reporting agencies, even though 90% of sources don't report. And the reality is that they weren't getting reported. They have no credit history, and it's what's getting them denied. Now, here's the great news, though. It only takes one account on a business credit report to start building positive credit. And with 3 with Dun and Bradstreet, you get a good score. With 1 with Equifax or Experian, you get a good score. Here's somebody that jumped up to a high score. They jumped from high risk to low risk. And now the reasons change. It's not that they don't have enough accounts. It's that now the account they do have is new. And here's what's crazy. There's 1 account. It's a Uline account on the business credit report. That's it. They spent less than $100. And look at what happened to the score. They went from as low as they can get to nearly as high as they could get and lowered their risk by adding 1 account to their business credit reports. This is the power of business credit. It's the power of being able to help business owners go from all those denials to actually getting approved. And what we also have found, and this is something that online gurus won't even tell you because they don't know, they haven't helped enough people through this process. But here's something really interesting that we found is that the more credit you grow, the higher the limit is recommended that you be issued from the actual credit bureaus. So if we look at this box on a credit report is very important. It's 3 points of data that Experian feels is the most important data for a lender or credit issuer to have. It's those scores that we looked at. This is how they pay their bills in Telescore. This is the risk of filing bankruptcy. And this is the credit limit recommendation. So this is what lenders and credit issuers look at most. And if you've ever been given a credit card, a loan, or a credit line and don't feel like you got as much money as you should have been approved for, well, then more than likely it's because of this. The bureaus are saying not to give you very much money. You can't be trusted to give you more money. So my goal for you and for your goal for your clients is to get this number up. And we found a secret within the formula to do it. Here's what we found. This is that very first one with no credit I showed you. This is the person that had that 1 Uline account, and we started to see that risk go from high risk to low risk. But also look at something else that you might tend to overlook. Credit limit recommendation jumped up 2.5 times, 2,500 from 1,000 just because they added 1 account on the business credit reports. That can't be right. We can't add accounts to the business credit reports and see higher credit limit recommendations. But look at this guy. He's got 2 accounts on the business credit reports. Recent high limit is only $100 is what he spent. Now he's getting recommended for $7,000 worth of credit. This one's getting recommended for $16,000 in credit. And ironically, there's 3 accounts on the credit report. And again, less than $100 spent. So what we're seeing is this trend of the more accounts we add to business credit reports, the higher this recommendation of credit goes. Here's $66,000 in credit, right? And then here's $724,000 in credit with somebody that has over 12 accounts on their business credit report. So here's the question. Where do you want to be? Where do your clients want to be? Now, do you understand the difference between going and getting a credit card for a $2,000 limit or a $25,000 limit? The difference is the bureau is saying this person should be given $724,000 worth of credit, and they're saying this person should be given $1,000. And this is what lenders and credit issuers see, and it's what determines how much money a lender or credit issuer will actually issue to an individual. So again, the nice thing about business credit is that when you build it, you take people that would get denied and help them get approved. You help people get approved for the best terms and the most amount of money, because the more accounts we add to the business credit reports, the greater their borrowing ability. So get approved regardless of consumer credit quality is one of the biggest benefits of business credit. It doesn't matter if the credit's good. It doesn't matter if the credit's bad. And hello from Mississippi, Phoenix, and Maryland, Arcadia, Florida, New Jersey. Everybody's in the house today. So the benefits of business credit are vast. One of which is that we don't care about consumer credit quality. I owned a consumer credit repair business. We helped clients get business credit once we figured it out. Our clients would fix their credit and leave with like 50,000 plus or whatever it may be of business credit. And they referred us to everybody and I sold the business within a year because my sales exploded and I had 5 potential buyers that lined up to buy it. When I sold it to like one guy, others were mad at me that I didn't sell the business to them. I mean, isn't that a nice problem to have? We have people literally lined up to buy your business. They get upset because you're not selling it to them. They're like, I would have paid you even more. And that happens because of hockey stick growth, because we figured out a way to take people with credit issues and help them get the money they need to grow their business through business credit. So it doesn't matter how good or bad somebody's credit is. Your credit's not even checked to get approved for high limit accounts. Personal guarantees are required with some kind of credit and not others. So there's a lot of business credit where you're not even personally liable. The reason I almost went personally bankrupt and my foreclosures and repossession and money was wiped out of my bank accounts is because I told the lender they had my permission to come after my personal assets if I defaulted on my business debts. Dumb? Yeah, it was. I didn't know any better. But now I do. And now I know that personal guarantees are an option in a lot of cases. And if you want to get around them, as a lot of people tell me they do, you got to build business credit. It's the only way around it. Building a credit history for the business and proving the business can stand on its own and it doesn't need you is where those guarantees start to go away with a lot of different kind of credit you can obtain. Okay, few consumer inquiries. The inquiries on personal credit, on business credit, don't even show on the consumer credit reports. So it reduces inquiries. And later, I'm going to tell you about a funding source that even one inquiry can cost you $25,000 in funding. So you want to keep your inquiries low because that's what actually is going to help you get maximum funding. Excuse me for a swig of water. And per SBA, limits on business credit cards are 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit. This is what happens. Business owners start businesses, and then they come in and they think that they are going to use a personal credit card to fund it. And they think it's only going to cost $5,000 to get the business off the ground. And they think the business is going to generate money in 3 months. And then it automatically takes twice as long. And it goes 6 months instead of 3 or even 9 or 12 months before it generates revenue. And that $5,000 they thought it was going to cost actually ends up being 10, 15, or 20. We've got a rule in Credit Suite that my partner and I follow that whatever our best estimate of time is, we double it to get what we really intend on happening. And whatever we honestly think something will really cost us, we double that cost in our estimates as well. We have learned that things take twice as long and cost twice as much as our best estimate ever, even years into doing this. So the problem is when you use consumer credit cards to fund a business, you max them out, you lower your credit scores, you ruin your ability to use those personal credit scores for personal financing and business financing. But business credit cards were designed to fund businesses. The limits are significantly higher. A lot of our clients are getting $10,000 limit credit cards 30 to 60 days into this process. They're getting 20, 30, 50, even $100,000 limit credit cards 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months into the process. And these limits might seem crazy to outsiders, but the reason for them is that businesses just spend more money. Consumer credit was never designed to fund businesses. Business credit was. So the limits on business credit accounts are substantially higher than what we look at with consumer credit. Plus, we can get business credit really quickly because, as I already showed you, we can add one account to a credit report and take scores from low to high. And the reason for that is that the main scores in the business credit scoring world are based on how you pay your bills. So all we need to do is get credit that reports to the reporting agencies, pay those on time or early, and that gets us good scores. We can't do that in the consumer world. Consumer credit's based on credit mix and how long we've had credit, all these factors that usually cost us years of well-disciplined borrowing to ever get good scores, but that's not the case in the business. It is that with business credit, we separate consumer and commercial credit. If you're in consumer credit repair, you have to offer business credit. You shouldn't even be in consumer credit repair if you're not offering business credit because you're a credit expert. And there's two sides to credit. There's commercial and consumer. Realistically, if you know one, you should know the other. If you got a credit expert, you got to be a credit expert. But it's very important that you separate consumer and commercial credit. SBA, SCORE, Inc., Entrepreneur, Forbes, every financial authority says the same thing. This is essential for business owners to do. You've got to separate consumer and commercial commercial credit reports. Otherwise, they're always going to rely on your personal credit to fund your business if you don't. And this also establishes your credibility for lenders, suppliers, and credit issuers. So I was sitting at a conference in Miami with one of our sales reps, Faith. And Faith worked at Dun & Bradstreet as their main sales rep for many years. And the stories she tells me are really, really, really interesting. And one of them is that she told me about this guy that owns this clothing brand. I'm going to mess it up. If you know the real name, type it into chat. I think it's Milano or something. It's a really high-end Italian clother. It's like Milano or something to that effect. So this guy gives a line of credit, right, or sends out inventory to one of his stores, and the store never pays him. $800,000. One of the most well-known and lucrative Italian clothing brands in the world I guess that would make sense. Or let's say in Italy. I don't know. But one of the most lucrative clothing brands that come out of Italy. And the guy almost literally was bankrupt because he gave somebody extended credit to somebody that never paid him back. And this happens with a lot of businesses. And this is a benefit of business credit. It gives you the ability to look and see how others' ability to pay you. And if you can't see their ability to pay you, well, then maybe you get paid back, maybe you won't. I don't know if you've ever offered products and services where somebody didn't pay you as they're supposed to, but it's a big hindrance on your ability to grow a profitable business. The other side of that is that everybody else is doing this behind the scenes for your business. So even if you have a million, 10 million, $3 million business, then how do you really look to the outside world? Venture capitalists are pulling your business credit reports to see if they want to give you money. Other people are lining up in interest of potentially buying your company. And when they pull your business credit reports, what does that reflect about you? I can't tell you the stories that Faith was telling me about people that were trying to get their product in Walmart, and Walmart wouldn't approve them to be able to offer the products and services through Walmart or products to Walmart because their business credit wasn't good enough. I mean, and these people were literally spending, I no exaggeration, $50,000 is Dun and Bradstreet's cost to fix that problem. 50 grand. And these people will pay it because getting into Walmart is such a big deal for them, even though they could really get it done through you at a fraction of that cost. So business credit reports are publicly accessible to anybody that wants them. And so you've got to make sure that you control your reports. If you don't, it's your reputation. It affects your ability to get insurance, amongst many other things. So it's so important because it is your credibility to have it established, because anybody can see those reports and scores. So to give you an example of what's possible, and this is an absolute mess. So excuse me on this slide, but this is one of our clients, Christine, and some of her approvals. And we can see here that we start at 2, 5, 7, 8,000, 10,000 at Lowe's, 12 at Apple, for example. Murphy's 15,000, Office Depot 15, 15 Sears, Costco 20, Best Buy 40 grand, Dell 40 grand, Ford 185 grand, $300,000 credit lines. This is a pretty good example of what's possible when one person builds business credit. She secured over $1 million in business credit. And last time I talked to Christine, went from a 1-truck operation to she was going to buy a 50-truck operation. And as you can see right here, she says, hey, if you follow Ty Crandall's program, you'll get what you need. And here's her showing off a lot of her different credit cards. So this is the power of business credit. You take somebody like this that literally comes in and can't even get a second truck on the road, and now is buying a 50-truck operation strictly because she's able to build business credit when she couldn't get other kind of funding. So how do you do it? Well, this is the formula. You get initial credit basically through trade vendors. Okay, credit line hybrid's another way to do it, where you can actually get credit lines for 150 grand. This is one where even one inquiry can cost you 25,000 in funding, but you can get 0% rates, no doc funding with credit line hybrid. Doesn't matter if you use credit line hybrid and get credit lines to build business credit, or initial starter vendors. But either one, you need about 3 of those that give you reports and scores, and that'll give you the basics of what you need. Again, here's our business credit building matrix our team follows to build business credit. There are literally hundreds of points of data that we look on here with our software and our coaches to be able to successfully be able to offer this to clients. So then we get retail credit. Once we have that initial credit profile and score created, then we move on to retail credit. We move on to fleet credit for fuel repair, maintenance of vehicles. Then we move on to bank credit, which are Visa, MasterCard type of credit cards. And we also look at auto financing in the final stage. And if we really want to look at exactly what this looks like, here's what it looks like from a client's perspective. We can see here that our clients are basically building that fundability as I talked about. They're getting set up with the reporting agencies. They're getting those starter vendors. Then they're monitoring their business credit reports. Then they're moving through tier after tier after tier to be able to build business credit. Now, a lot of this credit reports to the reporting agencies, and some of the credit even doesn't report to the business credit reporting agencies. So if we look at this, there's a lot of Visa cards, auto financing, a lot of these type of things that we can get. And there's even a greater amount of sources that will approve you for business credit that don't report. So a lot of these sources report to the business credit reporting agencies. And what I found is that anybody nowadays that talks about business credit never talks about any of these accounts, because they don't help you build business credit, but they'll still issue you credit lines and they'll still issue you credit based on having established business credit. So keep that in mind, is that when you're building business credit, it's not all about getting accounts that report to the reporting agencies. There's a lot of them like this that will help give you credit when you have none. And let's be honest, MedX Supply, People Ready, John Deere, Navy Federal Credit Union, as well as Divvy, Best Buy, Wells Fargo. These are great sources to get money from. Apple, even though they won't actually report the credit, they'll still give you credit based on you having established business credit. So again, a lot of potential once you're actually working through these steps. And then we come down to that final, then actually, let me give you the final approvals of what this really looks like. So we can see here is a $10,000 Dell credit card, 40 grand, Lowe's as well. We look here at all these approvals, Chase 15, Navy Federal Credit Union 9, Amex. Here we can see here's a credit approval for 5,000, one from Home Depot, another Visa card here, and a bunch of approvals. Here's all the approvals here that are reporting. Here's a bunch of approvals, right? Look at all these approvals, 3 grand, 1 grand, 2 grand, 200, 1,500, 2,500, all without these no personal guarantees. So you can see what's possible here when people start to get approved for all different kinds. And here's again a list of, I don't know, here's 11 plus, and then here's even more. So here's somebody that's listing 28 of their successful accounts they've obtained using business credit, fleet credit cards, and many others. And the reality is, I can do this all day long. I got hundreds and hundreds of these success stories because of the clients that we've helped through this process. And you got to ask yourself, is it easier to fund a business when this is what your wallet looks like? And this is what your wallet looks like. What does your wallet look like now? Does it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Amex cards in it? And how much easier is it to run a business when you have access to this kind of money? 200K here is being listed in approval limits. And you can see that it's not just one person, it's a lot of people showing how many types of business credit they get. So you got to remember, any type of business can get business credit, nonprofits, high risk industries, startups. Okay, you also need to know that you can get approved for business credit when you can't get any other kind of financing. So why this is important is that if you're going to offer solutions to help business owners get money, then you need a catch-all solution. One of my buddies, Phil, owns a very successful loan broker training business. Millions of dollars he makes in helping people offer business loans. And, it's interesting because I had a conversation with Phil, and him and I were chatting, and he said, he goes, let me tell you a secret. He said, my clients that know how to monetize and sell other products other than funding, they actually make more money off people that they cannot get funding for than ones they can. So think about that. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest trainer of loan brokers. And what he's saying is that there's more money to be made by offering these clients other things other than loans than what loans will ever pay. And the reason for that is that a lot of times on loans, you don't make a ton of money on them. What it is that not a lot of people can qualify for those loans and credit lines. But business credit, he offers and teaches to all the students because business credit's a catch-all. Anybody can get it. So again, you don't need cash flow. You don't need collateral. You don't need consumer credit requirements. Anybody can get it. So it's something that if you're offering business credit financing, you have a solution that anybody can get, not just something that only people that can actually come in and get that actually have those things established. So you got to know that business owners got to build business credit to get the most amount of money at the best terms and get money when they can't get approved for other kind of financing. So some things to think about. Connecticut's in the house. We got everybody in the house as well. And again, I know a lot of you have questions. Don't worry. Maybe get to your questions, just trying to get through the content for everybody, and then we'll do that. So here's an example of, and I'll give you a success story here about somebody that built business credit, used it to fund their business, and then built a 7-figure business as a gym teacher. Pretty cool. Quote, and this is Kylan Trower. Quote, I believe the Business Finance Suite's the best step-by-step paint-by-the-numbers system, securing anywhere from 50 to 250 grand of business credit that reports on your business credit report and helps you separate your personal and business credit. What I like most is you have access to actual coaches that will take you by the hand and walk you through the system and answer specific questions that you have related to your business. It's just an amazing opportunity for small business owners. So I show you this for a reason. So Kylan was one of these guys that came in and got hundreds of thousands of dollars in business credit. He was a gym teacher and didn't want to be a gym teacher anymore. I don't know why, because I think being a gym teacher would be pretty cool. Like I have a really strong upper body because you climb that rope all day. I have ADD. Don't mind me. Just saying, being a gym teacher seems like a cool job. Kylan didn't want to do it anymore. He wanted to build a seven-figure business. So he came in, he got the money he needed to do so, and then he decided to offer business credit financing as the path to build a seven-figure business, and he did it. And he did it by creating an army of salespeople that went out to banks, Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, and got their turn downs and turned those turn downs into business credit sales. And that was it. The only way he did it. He didn't do any other kind of marketing. He went out to bank to bank to bank, showed the system worked, hired salespeople, built a training system to teach them, brought them all out, put them in the field of offering business credit to all these banks that couldn't get their customers approved, builds a seven-figure business. So 2 success stories there that show you what's possible with business credit to fund a business like that, and also what happens when you actually get in the industry as well. And again, if you're interested in learning more, getting started, got a lot of bonuses given away this week, and it's at creditsuite.com/webinars. So look, the other thing that we got to talk about is the main thing that you would do as a partner or loan broker, which is offering financing. And entrepreneurs have to have access to money to grow their business. You can't grow a business successfully to a high level if you don't have outside money. And I say that confidently because if you look at every one of the largest owned companies in the world, they all do it, right? They all borrow money to get as big as they are. And here I don't know. I've never done this search live before, so I could absolutely embarrass myself here if I don't even know if I can move this thing. I don't think I can actually do that or not. Let me see. Okay. No, I can't. Okay, hold on a second here. Trying to get everything closed so I can actually move my little box around. Okay, so let me show you here exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I've shown this before, but just so you know what I'm talking about, here's Apple's debt, $288 billion in debt. Let's look at Walmart debt. I've never done this search before, Walmart debt. So I don't know. This could be embarrassing. Maybe they're debt free. I don't know. No, they're not. They're on $39 billion in debt. So you kind of get the idea here. I don't even know if we can go in. Let's take a look at Uber debt here. So they've got about $8 billion worth of debt. You get the idea here is that understand that the biggest owned companies in the world, they're sitting on billions in debt too. Airbnb is. So far, 100% of the largest companies we've looked at, from Uber to Airbnb to Apple and Walmart, are sitting on multiple billions of dollars in debt. And the reason for that is that they're really good at OPM or using other people's money to grow and scale. It's how they got as big as they are. I've never found even one of the largest privately or publicly owned companies that doesn't have hundreds of trade lines of people that they're borrowing money to be able to grow and scale the business. Walmart borrows money to shock their shelves. That's what I was going to say. Stock their shelves. And then they use the money they have in cash to be able to expand and create new locations. Apple actually comes in and uses their cashes for R&D to create new products and to open stores while they take debt to be able to run their everyday operations. So again, this is how all these companies get to be as big as they are. And here's the thing is that you could steal the exact same strategies that they're using. After the 2008 mortgage shift and the economic shift because of the mortgage crisis, Dodd-Frank was a new law that came out and it required banks to tighten up standard. And so what happened was these alternative lenders that we now call fintech lenders poured into the space. And now we see a 25% higher approval rate than we ever saw before. We saw a shift where 90% of funding came from banks and SBA to now 90% comes from alternative lenders. So what this means ultimately is there's more funding available today than there has ever been for small businesses. And it's easier to qualify for than it ever has been historically as well. But here's the problem. It's one of the fundamental reasons I started Credit Suite is because most lenders only offer one or two kinds of products. That's it. So if I come here and I look, for example, at, that was not good. Okay, so let's say we come here and go to, who am I thinking about? Let's just look at Seed Capital. So if we look at seed capital of the world, for example, and I think they should be up seed invest, keep pace your burn rate. No, no, no. Let's see. No, I don't even see them. Okay, so let's look at on deck. Let's just use on deck as an example. So on deck, for example, all they offer is cash flow financing. It's all they offer. So that means that if you come to on deck with an 850 credit score and zero revenue, they absolutely cannot help you. That is the way that they are. But here's what's interesting. If we look at this, look at their loans. We look at this. But you see, not once anywhere on their website does it even tell you. Okay. And they'll tell you some of this stuff here. You got to have a minimum of this to be able to even get in there. But they don't tell you that that's the only kind of funding they even offer. So, for example, if we go to Cabbage here, Cabbage is the same way. They offer money based on revenue. But if you look at their website, they don't even mention that. You wouldn't even know that they only offer one kind of funding and it's based on revenue. They don't tell you their underwriting requirements. It doesn't matter which source I look at, it's all the exact same. Fundbox is primarily driven based on revenue as well, but nowhere on their website do they tell you that. You don't know. So see, this is the problem inherently, in my opinion, in the business funding, financing, and business lending world, is that lenders have very specific criteria that you must meet. They either are lending you money based on three pillars: cash flow, credit, or collateral. One of these three. But you can't go to their website and even know that. So you can apply with On Deck, you can apply with Cabbage, you can apply with Fundbox and get denied for all of them because you have no revenue and not even know that that's the reason why. But you could have gone to another source like Capwell or any number and have good credit or good credit of somebody else and get $150,000 credit line. So that's the problem, is that most lenders offer one or two kinds of funding. And so they can only offer a very small slither of funding of people actual financing or lending because they don't have what's needed to be able to offer the masses money. But again, there's a lot of types of money out there somebody can get: revenue lending, merchant cash advances, AR financing, PO financing, AI funding, which is new out there, inventory financing, credit line hybrid, book of business, 401k, stocks, bonds, 401k, IRA financing, commercial vehicles, commercial real estate, peer-to-peer lending, angel investing, venture capital, credit lines. I could go on and on and on. There's so many different types of funding that are out there for business owners. And if you're only working, now imagine all of this, okay? Look at all that I just showed you. Imagine a bank that just offers that. And this is realistically what happens. You go to On Deck, that's what On Deck offers, that one. But if you get denied, did you even realize that all of this was available as well? That all of this was available, just not through On Deck. So any of these other options could have very well worked for you, but you didn't know about them. You just went to the wrong source. And as a result of that, all of these other financing options never were even available. Even if you look at a Lendio of the world, they only look at 7 different kinds of funding. 7. Here's our funding matrix. Here's what's involved with all the kind of funding that's out there and the criteria that our finance officers use to get people approved. Pretty complicated, right? Hundreds of factors go into this methodology. But again, it goes to show that the problem is that business owners need money and they can't get it because they do not know where to go. They don't know the kind of programs that are out there and they don't know where to go to actually get the cash. But that's why they've got to be able to access all funding in one place. Funding in one place, then they don't have to go to every source and figure that out. And I'll give you an example. I call this funding stacking, and I want to tell you more about it. I'm going to use Sam as an example of how it works. So here's Samnath, quote, "My business is Dragon Gym, a martial arts studio that was founded in 1973 by my instructor, Diego, and took over by my partner and I 10 years ago. About a year and a half ago, my business partner and I decided within 18 months we were going to open our second location. We got connected with Credit Suite and we were able to accelerate our timeline and open this location in 6 months instead of 18. Getting the financing meant that we could start fulfilling our dream to have 10 or more locations across the country," unquote. Here's an example of why this matters to a business owner. And I'm going to give you a second example right after this. Sam used multiple different kinds of funding, including a program called Credit Line Hybrid. He came in and got the funding and opened a second location in 6 months, not 18. As a matter of fact, in that 18 months, he opened a third location. So once he realized after 10 years, he's like, we got enough money in the bank. Let's try to open the second location. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Why don't you borrow the money? How quick do you start making the business profitable? He's like, 90 days. Actually, he said 90 something days. You knew exactly. I said, son, what are you doing? Why don't you get credit lines, create the new location, fund it for the 90 days, then you're profitable and pay off the credit lines? He goes, I didn't know that was possible. I'm like, yeah, it's possible. So we get him multiple credit lines. In 18 months, he opens his third location. Then COVID hits. You don't want to be in martial arts when COVID hits, right? No 6-foot social distancing and contact sports. So Sam opens up an online company and basically starts selling martial arts services online, makes that a whole pillar. Now all their gyms are back to normal and then some. And now they have a whole digital platform as well, all because they stacked funding up, multiple funding to do it. And by the way, they are currently trying to open between 3 and 5 new locations right now. By the end of next year, they'll have 3 more locations, if not 5 open. That's crazy. They went from 1 to 6 to 8 locations because they got multiple kinds of funding to do it. I can tell you a story about a tow truck driver. They got one tow truck. We got her $8,000. She got a second tow truck. She kept making more and more money. Now she's got a fleet of trucks on the road. One of my favorites right here is Dr. Brannon. He came to us to get $417,000 to pay off a tax lien. He didn't want money. Okay, he was shutting down his business. He needed to know how to pay the IRS off. I said, why are you shutting down the business? He said, I owe him 417 grand. They shut me down. My credit's bad. I don't qualify for financing. Nothing I can do. By the way, a lot of doctors have that same problem with credit. We ended up getting over $1.5 million in total funding by stacking different kinds of funding products: term loan, SBA loan, credit line hybrid, merchant cash advance, revenue lending, amongst others. He not only paid off the tax lien, he opened a second location and ran for public office. That's how somebody almost goes out of business and then doubles their business and then has time to run for public office. That's the difference between somebody having access to capital and not. And you can't do that through an on-deck or Lendio of the world because they just don't offer enough funding options to stack for business owners to be able to do that. So here's the interesting thing, though. What if you can do all of this in one shot? And what if you could do it all without doing any of it? What I mean is, how do we improve the fundability of a business owner, build their business credit, and get them access to every legitimate kind of funding without you having to do all of the work of figuring this out, helping them actually manually build their business credit, getting the business credit reports, understanding all aspects of the fundability matrix and going through every one of those items with your clients, trying to learn every lender that's out there, every loan program, actually get approved with them when they don't even approve most people applying to be brokers, then learn all their underwriting guidelines enough to be able to stack a deal, place a deal with them. Kind of seems a little overwhelming. But what if you could offer fundability improvement, business credibility, and funding without doing any of that stuff? Well, here's a story of what happens when you do have access to the full remit so you can see. And Josh, I like this because he articulates better than anybody I've ever seen what happens when you stack these 3 things: fundability, business credit, financing. I think you can relate to this, so I hope you don't mind that I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. Quote, one thing that's beautiful about Credit Suite is that you start with baby steps. The first thing that we did is get a couple of revolving credit lines and store credit. Then we graduated to gas cards. Then we ended up getting a very nice line of credit at Amazon. Then we worked our way up to getting a very, very nice SBA loan. Thanks to Credit Suite, we're able to really get our business finances in order from what looks good, unquote, to potential lenders and potential creditors. We became very attractive to lenders. The best options are always available to those who have their credit game locked down, and that's what Credit Suite platform allows you to do. We've been able to make smart investments in staffing, marketing systems, sales systems, product development, all these things before Credit Suite we just really couldn't do. I just don't have to stress as much because we've got money in the bank to take advantage of opportunities. I'm not as stressed anymore. I can keep track, keep a bank account. There's plenty of cushion in there. And that cushion, just honestly, it makes me a better dad. It makes me a better husband because I'm not stressing out. This is very emotional to me because I built businesses where I had no cash, and I built businesses that were flush with cash. And I can tell you that no matter how hard I try, I am more present with my children when I don't have to worry about money every day. I'm more present. As much as I try to concentrate on being present when I don't have the money, I'm distracted. I'm stressed because I'm sitting there trying to appreciate how I want to give them the best life. And I know that financially I'm struggling to make that happen. When I have cushion in the bank, I don't have that. So this is a nice, because as Josh is saying, hey, we started by building business credit, right? Baby steps, he says. We got credit lines, store credit. We went to gas cards. He built his business credit, right? Then we got a very nice line of credit at Amazon to help them. Then they got the business credit established and went to get an SBA loan. But how did they do it? Per Josh, we got what looks good. We got things in order from what looks good to potential lenders and potential creditors, and we became attractive to lenders. He built his fundability, right? And then as a result of that, he put money in the bank. Then he actually built a multiple seven-figure business is the end of the story, not the end, because Josh is still going on. He went from PR to finding a niche in LinkedIn, and now he's crushing it in LinkedIn. And now he's been able to do this with a peace of mind to know that he's got the money in the bank to do it. So how do you help clients and get these kind of testimonials like we have today? Well, first of all, you now see how we can help business owners get money with bad credit, how they can get it with no collateral, even as a startup with no income verification, even if they or you have been turned down. Now you've seen that any business can get business credit, that it can be done without a guarantee. And most importantly, you could be the solution that offers all of this to somebody to actually help their business. Now you may be thinking, hey, Ty, that's not going to work for me, right? But the reality is we've got so many different partners and so many different kinds of industries, from truckers to accountants, that have successfully offered business credit financing for their customers. And we have everything that you need, including the coaching, the training, and all the resources that you're going to need to be successful. Now, you may even be thinking that you can't afford to work with us, but as you'll see in a minute, I'm going to show you this is insanely affordable. As a matter of fact, I'm about to leak to you something that we've tested and have had massive success with, which is that I'm going to get you a credit line to actually even get started with us if you're interested. And it's a credit line that you can use for, well, many other things as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. And you also have to think that if you only do 3 sales a month, based on what our average partners are charging, you're making $9,000 a month. Now, I don't know if that has an impact on your life or not, but I think it would, because $9,000 a month is like a lot of stuff. You could buy a lot of stuff for $9,000 a month. But you have to ask yourself, how much of a difference would it make if you only made 3 sales a month and only made $9,000 a month? We've got partners that literally, I've been at multiple events where I've seen partners do $5,000 sales and do 5 of them in one day. One day, while I was there present, they're on the phone closing deals and did 5 deals, and they were charging $5,000. And I saw this happen at 3 different events where I'm with a partner, and that partner in a day did that much in sales. So what if you didn't do any of that? What if you only came in and did $9,000 a month? Would that make a big difference in your life? I don't know, but it's something to ask yourself. Because entrepreneurs should be able to get the money they need when they need it, but not knowing the approval standards, not having business credit, not being able to access funding all in one place is what holds them back. So you can turn your client's business around, because our finance suite does all 3. It helps them get the most money, the best terms, by improving the business credit, by building business credit, by accessing business lending, and you could be the one that actually solves that problem. So what is this finance suite? Well, it's basically a turnkey solution. I showed you a little bit of it that helps a business owner improve fundability, build business credit for their EIN, even get credit without a guarantee, and access every legitimate loan and credit line in one place. And it's done through 2 very important aspects: technology, and also through coaching. And technology, we're about 4 months away from launching something the business lending industry ain't never seen before. It's insane. Where we've got a matching program that matches a business owner with every kind of business credit, every kind of business lending that they can actually qualify for. We integrate directly with the secret credit bureaus. The lenders actually that data to show lenders the discrepancy of where they are from what lenders see, so they can meet that, increase their fundability score, and actually get approved. We literally are about to roll out this year the most ingenious, I don't say ingenious, but with a lot of ingenuity, a system that can actually further help solve this problem. And anybody that's working with it gets grandfathered in, because as you can imagine, it's going to probably increase prices quite a bit when that happens later this year. So first, how do you get started? You get started with our 7-step basic training. It teaches you how business credit works, who can qualify for business lending, how to advertise and market, how to sell and close, all based on proven methods. So we're not giving you any kind of methodology that may work. We're actually coming in and telling you, hey, this is the stuff that we've seen thousands of partners succeed with. We've succeeded with. Here's the step-by-step process you need to succeed. The 7-step partner basic training takes less than 3 hours if you were to do it all in one setting. It's broken down into small segments so you can do it in bite-sized pieces. Next, you just start talking to people around you. You ask them, hey, you interested in starting a business? You own a business? Yes. You interested in getting money? Yes. Then that's it. Then you close the sale. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. You can make the sale yourself. You can get our team on the phone. We'll close the sale with you. Okay. Or you can just refer it to us. We got something called our premier partner. You refer the customer all of the work for you. The bottom line is if they can afford it, they're going to buy it. And I'm going to show you a way you and them can easily afford it in a minute. So again, you can help them get funding without them buying anything first. You can even help them get business lending and getting money from loans and credit lines without them even buying anything first. So you have the ability to sell them a full solution with fundability business credit funding, or just offer them business lending instead. Okay, so how do you make money? Well, our fund finance suite sells for about $3,000 to $5,000 retail. If you go to our website right now, it's called our core program. You'll see we sell it for $3,000. That's what we sell it for. That's the retail price, retail sales price, right? You pay Credit Suite $500 to $700 wholesale. Now that's not to get started, but once you are started as a partner, then you spend $500 to $700 for every one of those finance suites that you sell, and then you basically come in and you earn the difference, right? That's it. So if you sell it for $3,000 and you're paying $700 in a finance suite, by the way, the $500 to $700 depends on if you're buying one or multiple at a time. A lot of our most successful partners buy them in bulk and they get the price down, right? But even if you only bought one at a time, spent $700, sold it for $3,000, there's $2,300 in profit. Again, I don't know how much you're going to make because you determine the sales price, okay? And again, we have terms and conditions that prohibit anywhere from undercutting the retail price. You're not going to find a bunch of people competing with you with low prices. It's about what people sell. And so this gives you earning stability as well. So you're a plus, you could even join our executive program and get 50% on the funding fees and earn recurring money as well. So when customers renew their funding, you get paid. When customers come in to get business lending, you get paid. So this gives you the ability to either sell the whole finance suite itself, make $2,300 plus earn money on funding commissions, or just submit customers for funding help. So we have a lot of loan brokers that can turn off. You could just turn off funding if you don't want them to be offered loans or credit lines, and you could just sell business credit, or you could turn it on, or you could just have us handle certain kinds of loan programs. A lot of loan brokers only offer one or two kinds of money, and we basically help them offer every kind of money because we do all the rest of that for them. So what do you get as a partner? Well, a lot of stuff. We give you the 7-step partner basic training. I do private training that only our partners see. There's 200 hours of it in Training Vault you get access to as well. And you get access to our live training webinars, which take place every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. A partner marketplace with all of the resources we've used to scale Credit Suite, and a lot of them that our partners are using as well to scale their businesses. Funding commission tracking. This is to track your actual commission on funded deals. Client dashboard, real-time access of where every one of your clients is in the business credit building process. The access to add new clients. Okay, a partner success coaching team. We have an entire team that all they do is just help coach you to succeed offering business credit and lending. Contracts and agreements to have customers sign, interviews, presentations, closing scripts. The same sales process and sales scripts we use to sell, we give you. Okay, and we literally sign up hundreds of new clients a month. So to say they're proven is an understatement. Funding training, underwriting guidelines on all the funding programs, easy setup and manage your customers through your back office as well. You're also getting all that you need to be able to market, done for you seminars, your own website. That's an 8-page website, PowerPoint presentations, 25 of them, a year's worth of email content, 10 articles for online posting and article directories, press releases, a year's worth of social media drip content, 25 marketing videos. You know what's funny is I remember having these marketing videos created in the beginning. They were $800 a piece. No exaggeration. I'll never forget it. It's exactly what I paid every video. Every video was $800 to be able to get created. So just to give you an idea of how much you'd have to spend retail. I'm saying $299 value. That's insane. You're never going to get 25 professional videos done for that. So it just gives you an idea of the cost of even creating one of these assets. 15 ebooks, free reports, guides, automated webinars, professional marketing flyers. So you're getting everything you need to successfully market business credit and financing as well. And I think I already closed down that tab, but I'll give you a little look here in a second, a little peek into what that looks like. Okay, so if you go in there to partner resources, and it just kind of gives you an idea that you're actually able to see the coaching webinars. Here's the last coaching webinar that we actually did here. And then you can get an idea of just some of the quality of content. So let me just choose one of these. Let me just look, I don't know, Over the Road Trucker's Guide to Building Business Credit. I don't know, this looks good. The Guide to Building Business Credit. I like that. So let's take a look at this. This is what this guide looks for. It's all customizable with all of your contact info. And then look at the professionalism of this guide. These are professionally done. This is just one resource. It's one free reporter guide. And this is the kind of stuff that we give away on Facebook to get people to actually opt in. So to give you a look at another one of these, let's look at marketing flyers. That sounds good to me. So let's just take a look at one of those. Let's look at business revenue lending. So these were $400 to originally have created. I'll never forget that when we had these created as well. And they're all completely customizable as well. So you're able to come in and be able to grab these marketing flyers. You're also able to come in and get the PowerPoint. So when I'm doing presentations like this, there's a whole library of all these PowerPoints that you're able to access as well. You're able to access email content that you need for your clients as well. So you're actually able to create drip emails and get a year's worth of actual email content for your clients here as well. So all of this stuff is already done for you. I mean, it would cost you a fortune of time and money to be able to do that, but you're getting all of that and you're getting what your clients are going to get. 24/7 access to the finance suite in English or in Spanish. Business advisors that coach you through the process of getting money yourself. Help with setting up all aspects of fundability foundation from name, entity, EIN, address, funder. We could take a startup and launch them through our system. My buddy charges $3,000 just for a startup package for business owners. Our fundability section has more than you'd pay him the $3,000 just to be able to actually come in and get your business set up. Licensing, bank account, merchant account set up with all 3 reporting agencies, DUN number set up, BIN number set up with Experian, dispute and fix inaccuracies. Our system has the ability to build and fix business credit. Largest supply of starter vendors, largest supply of retail, fleet, cash credit, auto financing, and every different kind of business lending is in there as well. Cash flow financing, unsecured financing, asset-based lending, SBA loans, all of that is available to you as well as it is to your clients as well. And if you wanted to get started with our ultimate program basically has all that stuff set up for you. So we set up the sales funnel for you. We actually give you information emails, buying benefit emails, news hacker video education funnel emails, credibility consultation emails, case studies, webinars that already sell the program embedded in your funnel. Okay, all these from marketing flyers are set up, your social media channels are set up, your articles, your press releases, your PowerPoints are all set up. So we're setting up your marketing materials for you and giving you a whole access to everything where the funnel is completely built out for you. Plus, if you are getting started by Friday, I want to give you something special. And the reason is very simple. We find that people that get going right away have the best success. Like the people that go, yep, this is for me. I know I can crush it. Where do I sign? We find they're the best partners that we have. So for those that are in that bucket that know this is for them and want to get going, I want to make sure that you have access to something special. So we're going to give 10,000 worth of bonuses, including a Celebritize Your Brand bundle. This is from the #1 branding expert in the world, not me. That's what the news stations call him, Ray Perez. Okay, so that actually has $1,000 value, and it's actually attend 2 of his events. Message Maximizer, best-selling author Doris Hirschman helps you get your message and your avatar linked together to make it easier for you to do online advertising. Howard Shore, another guy that's a best-selling author, he sells his individual training modules for $800. We're giving you one for free that helps you delegate and manage like a beast, helps you basically manage human capital or people. Entrepreneurial Leap and Traction were written by best-selling author Gino Wickman. He's giving away 11 resources, including my Vision Clarifier, my Business Match, roadmap to startups and success as well. Accounting secrets blueprints for all the basics that you need to know about accounting. 100K real estate payday if you're interested in getting started with flipping real estate. Fundability in a flash, where you actually can work with our team for 30 minutes to 60 minutes to get your fundability set up. D&B, Equifax, and Experian for free for 3 months. They charge you $250 a month. We're giving you $750 worth of credit reports at no cost and 90% discount after that. Instead of spending $250 to get credit reports, it's only $24 a month for you and your clients. And the Business Builders Bundle. Over 30 courses, guides, blueprints, and tools for generating leads, branding, marketing, advertising, funnel building, product pricing, social media mastery, viral video marketing, and rapid business growth worth $3,000. Look, I'm not the guy to teach you how to actually market and do all this. Although don't get me wrong, my coaching webinars do that. Our coaching webinars will actually teach you how to run a challenge, how to actually come in and be able to succeed with social media, how to run ads on Facebook and Google and these other places to be able to succeed. So we will give you access to that as well. But this bundle gives you everything you need from blueprints, courses to be able to succeed in all of these different areas. Plus, you have the ability to be able to do a evaluation whenever you want to see how much your business is worth and get a report, 28 pages that compares you to other businesses in your industry to see how to grow your business faster. You can do the math. If you look online, it's thousands for most valuations. I'm conservative with a $600 value there. So over $10,000 worth of bonuses. So to give you an idea of everything you're getting is worth well over 16 grand, 10 grand plus of bonuses, pretty hefty value over 27. And it's only $44.97 if you're getting started by this Friday. And you can also break it down into 8 payments of $697. But I promised you I would show you how to get a credit line to be able to pay for this. So that's something else I want to go through is that if the $697 is not affordable, we will make payments affordable for you. And we also will customize payments, and we have access to a credit line that we've been testing that if you have even average credit of 600, 620 type credit scores, most of our clients are getting approved for it. It's a credit line you can use to not only get started with us, but the credit line you can then continue to use when you pay it down for any other purpose that you may need. Now, again, I've got clients that don't get approved. We've got people that come in that get approved for $2-3 grand. We've got people that get approved for $40,000 credit lines. The approvals in large part are based on business revenue. So if you've got revenue going through your business now, there's a good chance, an average credit, there's a good chance you can be able to get a credit line and be able to buy as well. And if you're doing that, I see payments lower than $350 a month, $350 a month, and you have a reusable credit line. And by the way, that credit line is only charging 1 to 4% interest. So it's even cheaper than using your credit cards to buy. So everything you need to succeed as a partner, from an entire coaching team, a back office, the step-by-step training, private coaching webinars. Okay. Again, think about this. It's like a franchise without a $25,000 franchise fee. You and I have never seen a franchise ever that you can get for less than 25 grand. There are usually 6 figures or higher. So you're getting basically everything you need to deploy a business, right? And 4,500 through Friday, and it's only you're charging $3 grand just for the finance suite. So it's only an extra $1,500, and you basically get an entire business set up for you with all the coaching, training, everything you need to succeed. You're getting all the marketing resources for you as well, including 25 videos and PowerPoints and everything else. You're getting everything your clients get that they're going to spend $3 grand for. And you also, if you want to go with Ultimate, you can get it all set up for you, and 10K worth of bonuses as well. So again, pretty cool. And if you're just here and say, hey, look, I just want to be able to get the bonuses you mentioned in the beginning, just because you're at this event, you watch to the end, all you have to do is give us a call, and I'm going to throw up our phone number here to get that no cost consultation, 30 days worth of business credit monitoring as well. And there's our number to give us a call. Now, as I promised, I'm going to stick around and make sure the questions are answered here. So I'm going to stick around and get to a lot of your questions. Now, keep in mind, I got a lot of people here. So that means that if I don't get to your question, you don't have to keep typing it in, okay, unless you hear me get to the end and say, like, I'm getting ready to wrap up. I just haven't got to your question yet. So hello from California's in the house. Greetings. A lot of people in there saying hello in the webinar. I appreciate that. Hello, Tawana, Garrett from Arizona. Thanks for coming in. North Carolina, Florida. A lot of people. New Jersey, Houston's in the house, Texas. What tech are you talking to use on 19 platforms? That's awesome for a webinar. Oh, so this is called Restream. So there's a StreamYard you can use. There's a lot of them, but we use Restream to do our lives to all of our social platforms. So hopefully that answers your question. Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, saw you in Miami this weekend. Back in Atlanta now. Welcome back to Miami. It was awesome seeing you and hanging out, Michelle. Woodbridge, Virginia in the house. Texas, South Florida's in the house as well. Multitasking. Hey, thanks for coming in. I appreciate everybody saying hello, and hello from Queen City, Manchester, New Hampshire. I appreciate good morning from San Francisco. I appreciate that. Hello. They did that to me. Yeah. I know that, and I think I was relating to some of the things where we had problems with people getting turned down. It happens a lot. Mississippi, I've completed all the steps registered in my state, open a business account, and the problem is no revenue and not in a business for a year. But you see, the problem is that's not really a problem. The reality is that this is a problem because for some kind of funding, but not other. Credit-based financing, you don't need revenue. Collateral-based funding, you don't need revenue. Three of the pillars of funding, two of them don't even need revenue. Okay, and time and business requirements are not required for almost any business credit building account if you build business credit the right way. So the reason I mention that is that this just goes to show that people are getting denied for reasons they shouldn't be getting denied for. If your fundability is right, you're able to come in and get business credit still, even with these requirements, and still qualify for 70% plus of funding options that are out there. So some things to think about. Miranda from Michigan is in the house. Hello. Labria, I think from Baltimore is in the house. Hello. Jeffrey from Dallas. Hello. My name is Nine from Florida. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. Mike from Chesapeake, Virginia. And we already went through the investment. Illinois is in the house. Mississippi. Carolinas, Ohio's in the house, South Carolina. We see everybody's in the house. Down in New York, Cookville, Tennessee. Hello, thanks for coming in. South Bay. I'm trying to get to questions. Tampa Bay. Hey, who's that from Crystal? What's up, Crystal? You know you're my neighbor. I'm right down here in Channel Side right now. Are there any contact templates or legal resources to protect my company? Yeah, there are. We have contracts and legal and affiliate agreements are in there too. So you don't have to have anybody sign a contract to be able to work with you, but some people have asked for this. So we actually have contracts and affiliate agreements that can help you there as well. And yes, we have marketing resources in Spanish and a Spanish-speaking advisor as well. This awesome program. Thank you, Cancer. Howdy, I believe my business partner's purchases, but not fully explained to me. We have done so much. How can I get consultation? Easily, give us a call. If you have access and you're a partner with us now, open up your login. Well, you can call this number right here, 877-600-247. You can also open up your own back office, go to the top right, click contact us, and through message, through email or phone, you can talk to your actual partner success team. English, Spanish, we talked about that. Yep, no, not about French. We just have everything in English and Spanish because those are the most popularly requested ones. We might do French and other languages down the road. Am I able to set up for payments starting? You absolutely can. All you have to do is just give us a call, lock in the bonuses, and we can work out the payments for you, even get you approved for that credit line we talked about as well. Is this a replay of the Zoom? I'm at work. Yes, you will. If you stayed to the end of this, Sam, you will be sent a replay. Miranda, I have about 9 inquiries in my credit report. My personal credit scores good. Will credit review help me? Yeah, we can. We have no problem getting business funding. Remember, consumer credit is the narrowest pillar of funding that's out there. There's so many other funding. It's not even based on consumer credit. But yeah, with those scores, we've even got credit-based funding that can help you as well. What's the name of the financing company for us to get credit line? We've got multiple with. That's why you want to give us a call. We can talk through it. We actually have multiple different ways that we can get you credit lines and multiple sources we can use. So it depends on your own scenario of who we're actually going to go with. But give us a call. We can ask some extra questions about you, and then say, here's who we would use, and we'll be able to answer that question based on your actual scenario. Any chance of getting business credit with tax liens on personal? Yeah, guys, think about it like this. Imagine coming in and not even having your credit looked at. Tax liens, none of that make a difference. And by the way, if you would just go to your LexisNexis credit report, which we help you do as well. So we also help clients get check systems and LexisNexis credit report. And up, if you clean that LexisNexis up, then dispute it with the bureaus, you wouldn't even have that tax lien to begin with. So we can help you with fixing LexisNexis as well to be able to fix that underlying issue. And yeah, personal credit issues like that have nothing to do with getting business funding. It's not even going to be an issue. Is there a contract with you if we join as an ultimate franchise? Like, there's not actually a contract But we do have terms, condition, and user agreement, and you can give our team a call. We can walk through that with you. I received my contract yesterday. Ultimate. Do I qualify the bonuses? Yes. Just give our team a call, and we can tell whoever it was that you worked with, and we can get you set up. Will all the marketing material be branded for my individual company? So there's two ways it works. If you are in our ultimate program, and you can go to creditsuite.com/webinar and see ultimate. Ultimate, we set it up for you with your own branding. The rest of it, it's not set up with your brand, but you have the ability to add your logos and branding on there. So they're all customizable documents, yes. And just to be clear, I can sell the whole system. Do I need to sell the whole program? Do I Credit Suite? Okay, so good questions. First of all, there's two ways you can sell. Well, let me expand. You can either sell the finance suite, which helps with fundability, business credit building, and funding, and they get our coaching and our tech. Or you could just help somebody get loans and just refer them into our partner or our funding team and just get them funding without selling them the system. So you could do either one of those. You could sell, you could get us on the phone and sell, or we could sell for you. You could refer the customer. Your back office gives you all of those options. Your back office also gives you the option of setting up a client just to get business credit or just to get funding as well. So all of those are completely your option. And it's white label or blue label, meaning you can sell in our name, you can sell in your name, whichever you're comfortable with. So a lot of options we have. We'll call to discuss this program as want to do it with you. Sounds good. Look forward to working with you. And any special requirements if you are based in California to participate in the program? Nope. We do all the licensing and bonding for you, so you don't have to. Same in Georgia as well. Okay. You don't need that because, again, we do the licensing and bonding for you, so you don't have to. Now, again, if you run a business out there and there's requirements of running a business, that's different. But for offering and funding and stuff like that, you don't have to actually do that. We actually do that for you to give you an idea. Now, I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to come back to webinar chat, but go into social media questions. Hello, I appreciate everybody, Princeton, and a lot of people coming in saying hello. And Brilliant Davis is back from Unbound Business Solutions. Always love that you're coming in. And Brian Funk is in as well from Triad of Success. You always come in, Brian. I appreciate you saying hi. Checking in from Bowling Green, Kentucky. That's also okay. So when we go, thanks for all your free content. It's greatly appreciated. Appreciate that as well. And again, just trying to work through some questions to make sure all your questions are answered. Sioux Falls, South Dakota's in the house there. Throwing up some on the den. Patterson, New Jersey's in the house as well. We got a lot of people from all over. Can we have more than one EIN and more than one UIN account? You can. Every business can only have one EIN, but you could have multiple businesses with multiple EINs. And a lot of people get our system and use multiple businesses and build using our system to be able to do it for multiple businesses as well, just so you know. Loan broker business, Kale Oven. Do you have a service that supports a plan on how to generate income once being able to start and establish business credit? Yeah, I mean, look, this is what our bundle or a part of our $10,000 bonus bundle will do. Well, there's a couple things. First of all, we give you everything you need to successfully offer business credit financing, right? And as a service. And then we also have that bonus that's a $3,000 bonus bundle that has a lot of stuff to teach you how to basically market any kind of business that you can apply to be able to use there as well. So yeah, absolutely. We can help you with running the business credit financing business, and our bonus gives you a lot of the insight you need to be able to grow any kind of business as well. Hello, great information. I appreciate that very much. Okay, I'm a credit affiliate and need funding to start. Can I receive help funding? Yeah, we're probably one of the biggest funders of credit repair because a lot of our partners are in credit repair. So we've got a lot of lenders that we've worked with over the years to help them offer funding to credit repair when before us, they just didn't do that. How long does the customer have access to the business suite with support? So that really depends. The finance suite, they get access to with the coaches, the advisors for 12 months because they don't need them beyond that, right? Our clients get to the end of business credit building in 6 to 8 months. If they haven't got 50,000 or more in business credit, we'll work with them after that. But most of our clients only need the finance suite with the advisors for 12 months. They never lose access to the system. They never lose access to the lending team. So they can get loans and credit lines indefinitely. They can access the system indefinitely unless you shut them off. That's your power. But they have access to the coaches for a year because that's all they typically need them for. So after that, they don't really need them beyond that. Okay, interested? I appreciate that. Give us a call. Would love to talk to you more. What sort of offer that may be given to the clients you're already working with? I'm not exactly sure, Robert, what you mean by that question. What sort of offer that we've given to the client. We're already working with. If you have a question, just give us a call. So I don't know what your individual scenario is, but if you give us a call, we can talk to you about that as well. From Minnesota, King, greetings, Credit Suite. Really appreciate the presentation. Watched a few. I found them very informative. Thank you. I appreciate you reaching out and saying that. It means a lot. Can residents, non-citizens of the U.S. have not built their personal credit? So in order to build your business credit, you've got to be able to come in and have an EIN. And in order to get an EIN, you need a TIN or an SSN. Wow, that's a lot of N's. There's a lot of N's in that saying. So what I'm saying is that we can help any business build business credit as long as the business is a real entity. In order to be a real entity, you have to be able, from the government, actually be able to get an EIN, and that comes from either having a social security number or it comes from actually having a TIN number. Those are required, one of those two, to be able to get an EIN in the United States. As a partner, would I have the ability to access clients' fundability before they purchase? Yeah, absolutely, you will before they purchase. As a client, would I have the ability to assess clients' fundability? You can. A part of our script and part of our training is to teach you how to do a basic fundability check. So we do teach you how to do a basic fundability check before they enroll. That's one of the things we do. So when we have somebody on the phone that's interested in enrolling with us, we do a fundability check. There's like 3-4 things we check. Then we review that with the client. That's one of the first things that we do to sign them up. That's in our sales training. And what is happening with the live chat, I'm not exactly sure. And the cost, yes, we did go over all that with you, Virginia. So hopefully you got that. You can also go to creditsuite.com/webinars and that information is there as well. I heard that you're saying, but as a client, I'm not, okay. So if you, Robert, if to reach out to our team. So if you come in and directly talk to our partner success team will help you succeed. We've got weekly training that we come every week. So my first question to you, Robert, is do you come to the weekly training? So every week at 3 o'clock Eastern, how many of the trainings are you coming to where we teach you everything you need to learn in that? And then the partner success team is there to help you as well. So if there's something specific that maybe that you want help with that you haven't been able to connect with them on, then give us a call, send us an email, or talk to whoever it was that you first brought you in, and we'll make sure that you get the help and the support that you need. If you have more than one business bank account for the same business, yep, you absolutely can. Anthony says, I really would like to join your program in a couple months. How to master? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Going through therapy. Well, anything that we can do, Anthony, in the meantime, let us know. Hopefully you get healed and back to recovery soon. Is getting real estate financing harder now? It's not that we've seen. You're still able to get commercial real estate financing. We do a lot of fix and flip financing as well. We've not seen that die down yet, but of course, when the economy shifts, housing market shifts, it probably will be. Does the business suite walk clients through this creating the NAICS, incorporating your business? Yeah, somebody could come to us that wants to start a business, and our system would help them through every aspect of that as well. So Carla says, buying the ultimate means we get our personal business credit built to experience the process. Yes. So ultimate or VIP, you get the actual ability for you to build business credit, improve your fundability, get business lending as well. So what your clients get, you get as part of our partner program, any of our partner programs. How does this compare with SBA loans? Can this funding work for startups 30 to 60 days old? SBA loans, we have those too. But SBA loans require good credit, cash flow, and collateral. Most business owners don't have all those they need unless they're really well established. So we have a lot of funding that works for startups. But yeah, we have SBA funding as well. So SBA funding is a product we offer. It's just really hard to compare or to qualify for compared to the other kind of funding that we offer. Okay, need funding join. We can help you with that. All you do is give us a call. We can help you get the credit line that you need. I need help with business credit for my business currently. I started the process, but need additional assistance. Yeah, our program does come with helping you with all aspects of building your business credit fundability as well. Well, I need a separate LLC for this. You will not. A lot of people put this under the same company umbrella they have. Some create a DBA, some create a whole separate business. That really depends on you, but any of those will work. Are there live trainings? And yes, do you do the training personally? Yeah, there are live trainings, and we've got about 200 hours that I've done myself. Then what happened is that our partners kind of requested to hear more from our team. So I do training every single month. I do one of our training. Then our advising and funding team does 1 week. Our marketing team does 1 week, and our sales team does 1 week. So if you think about how our live trainings work, you hear from our sales team on the betting right now that work on the streets to sell. Then every month you hear from our marketing team on what we're working on that we're having a lot of success with marketing. We're working on affiliate programs, local seminars, local SEO right now. So we bring you up to speed and say, we're doing this. It's working really well. Here's exactly how we're doing it. You can do it as well. Then our advisors come on. They talk about business credit changes, funding changes to keep informed of what's happening in lending, business credit building. And then I come in on a high level, C level, and say, here's what you need to know to run and grow the business. Like my last live training webinar was the best 5 ways to get customers that we're testing out right now. And actually, we went over 8 ways. So that's how our actual training webinars are. You'll have hundreds of hours of training from me privately, and then in the back office, and then you'll also have access to our team through those training webinars that take place every single month or every single week. What if we wanted each client to have assistance while getting credit repair and access to funding? Could we actually push outside lending opportunity to be sold by your reps? We can help the clients with funding, yes. We don't do anything with credit repair. So yeah, we could help them through all aspects of building business credit and financing. We just don't do the credit repair side, the consumer credit repair. I have a similar story as yours, Ty, with regards to bankruptcy resulting in personal credit. I'm still doing credit repair while starting businesses. I need access to what Credit Suite's offering, but I can only put up. That's fine if you could do that. I mean, listen, it shouldn't be. Give us a call. We can talk to you about specific funding or specific options to make it easy for you to be able to afford this. Okay, let me put it that way. And a lot of you have individual scenarios you're putting in. Look, we will customize payments for you. We've got pricing we don't even have on our website. We've got the ability to finance it for you. We can finance it, or we have outside sources that can finance it. So if you're interested, all you just give us a call. We can talk through the options that work best for you specifically. You do everything from scratch, even file the LLC, getting IN for clients. Okay, so again, what happens is that we don't do this for the client because we can't, right? I can't go to Secretary of State and set up somebody's LLC. I would need their name, their address. I need all the specific info. We coach and help the clients through every aspect of this. Yes. So yes, we help the client through everything from scratch. All you're doing is learning through training how to sell the program and offering the finance suite itself. We do everything else internal there. What if we wanted each, or we don't do it for them, we coach them and help them through the entire process. What if we want each client to receive access to a walkthrough start to finish? What fees associated with that? Again, I have a person lending partnership and wanted to upsell. So again, if you wanted us to do all of it, then it's kind of like instead of making like $2,300, you could make upwards of like 500 to $1,000. Meaning you can refer the customer to us almost like an affiliate relationship, and we do the work. And you can earn between 500 and $1,000 for every enrollment, or you could do the selling yourself and make like $2,000 plus enrollment. So hopefully that actually answers your question between the differences there. On the marketing side, is there a product that we can offer as low ticket, then upgrade to the actual program? There is. We call this our do-it-yourself, and we actually call it Genesis. So you actually, as a partner, have access to 2 different platforms, one with coaching, one without coaching. The one without coaching is only $350. So you can buy a finance suite for $350 to sell and then sell for as much as you want. It just doesn't come with our coaches, because the coaches is where the majority of our cost is. But to be honest with you, it's also where people have the success they have because they have the coaches to help them through that process. When I paid the $3,000 for the program, can another LLC use the same program? Yeah, they will. They can go through the step-by-step system to be able to pay the $3,000 and be able to do it for multiple businesses. So the answer to that is absolutely yes. I currently am working in relationships with, how do I put this here? To merchants who have gotten in trouble with stacking cash advances and then missed some payments. We set them up with saved merchant accounts. So we want to offer the credit suite. We would also prefer to stay away from the cash advance. And you can easily do that. You could, every one of our files has notes on what you want for the client. So when you input a client, you can put any kind of note in there, like stay away from cash advances, stay away from merchant cash advances, stay away from revenue lending. And by the way, Matt, we do the same thing. We put these people in term loans. So we take people that are in one cash advance, multiple cash advances, and we basically do consolidation loans by putting them into term loans, just so you know that is something that we actually can do as well. Needing financing credit for real estate, we can help with that as well. The price for the ultimate program is a little bit different. You can go to creditsuite.com/webinar and you can check that out. So if you go here to creditsuite.com/webinar, you'll actually be able to see both VIP. Oh, you can't see ultimate here. So if you actually go to creditsuite.com and look at pricing, and this actually shouldn't be done here, but I'll have that upgraded. That's not what I wanted either. I'm all lost here. Creditsuite.com. Okay, so if you go to creditsuite.com and you go to pricing, you can also go to partner right here, and you can see everything with Ultimate. You just need to talk to our team. So here's our Ultimate payments. Here's our Ultimate one pay. You can also see everything that's involved here. You can even drill down to actually get more details there, and it teaches you everything that comes with Ultimate. And Ultimate's like it's all basically set up for you, all the marketing materials, resources, etc., where you don't have to actually set it up yourself. So hopefully that answers your question. What's the best way to get into contact with Experienced Business? I'm still waiting for an address update from them. What's the best way to get in contact with Experian? I think you're saying Experian Business, and that's not an easy thing to do. My advice is to get a credit report from them, and their credit reports have a special number to get with them. But you have to have the credit report to even get the number. It's not that I can't give it to you. It's that number, they're going to ask you for a reference number from the report to even get to them. That's the best way I found to talk to Experian. And again, don't forget, like that's something that our coaches and clients help you with as well. Okay. And let me see here. Coach, counselor, credit, but don't okay. Let me go back. I'm trying to get up. Currently, I have a working relationship. Okay. So I am coach, counsel on credit, but don't do credit repair. I give clients skill sets to repair their own credit. Would be a good fit for this program. Yeah, absolutely. Look, what I found, Sharon, is that 25% of people that I helped with credit repair, they owned a business or wanted to start a business. And so that's the best way to know is go to the people you're talking to now and ask them, do you own a business? You want to start a business? If you find what I found that about 25% of them do, then you know you have the clientele for this. It's a VIP package, the ultimate package. It's not, you can go to creditsuite.com/pricing and see the difference. Usually that webinar link has ultimate on it. It doesn't. So if you check back in about an hour, I think I can get that fixed and get ultimate added to that webinar link. But I need to get out of this training in order to do it. What CRM do you use or recommend? We actually use Infusionsoft and Active Campaign. If we build your funnel for you in Ultimate, we build it out in Active Campaign. If we purchase Ultimate from the website, do we call to ensure that we get the bonuses? Yeah, you should call to make sure you get the bonuses. Because again, with the ultimate, it's not on that webinar link, but I will address that as soon as we're out of this. So that'll be fixed within an hour, but I can't fix that until I'm out of this. So you can call and we can get you set up with ultimate, or go to ultimate, get started there, and then just let our team know. We'll make sure you get the bonuses as well. And get business funding is possible for startup. Absolutely. Let me give you some options. 401k financing, stocks, bonds, IRAs, equipment financing, house flipper financing, credit line hybrid, for example. All those work for brand new businesses, as well as, if you're 6 months in business, we're talking about PayPal, Square, Stripe. We're talking about Fundbox. We're talking about Cabbage type financing. We're talking about Bluevine. So I can go on and on. A lot of businesses available for startups. It depends on if you have some kind of collateral or good credit. If not, that's when you're probably going to want to consider building business credit. That's your next bet. How much is it to start? I did answer that question already. Any special requirements if you're based in California? We did answer that question already as well. Again, we can still help you even if you have credit issues to get started. Has a company with SBA qualifying. SBA qualifications like this. SBA, if you want an SBA loan, you need to have good personal credit with no derogatory items on there. You need collateral equal to the amount you're borrowing. Personal or business collateral would work. You need 3 years worth of tax returns that show some kind of profit, at least on your most recent year. If you have those, then that's exactly what it would take to be able to get approved. The website, I'm not sure what website you're asking about, but if you tell me specifically what website you're having a hard time accessing, I can help you figure that out. How can this help real startups? Can they get funding for 30-day businesses? Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, funding comes down to 3 categories: cash flow, credit, collateral. Well, a startup doesn't have cash flow. So that means we either rely on their personal credit or a personal credit guarantor through a program like Credit Line Hybrid, or some kind of assets, collateral, commercial real estate, commercial vehicles, residential real estate, stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, inventory, equipment, some kind of asset. And the other option is business credit, right? Business credit works for startups as well. So hopefully that helps answer your question. My question is, I just started my business, I have an LLC, I have my AM, but my question is the funding to get my business started. We talked about a lot of different options that could work startup business funding side. I searched the two numbers. First one says I'm a food business. Second one's okay. The one with the food business has nothing to do with what I do. This is the time period when I did most of my work. So again, you just write a letter to D&B. They've got something called their dashboard. D&B has their dashboard. And if you go through their dashboard, you could dispute this information. Again, classic problem here that our coaches would help you solve this. You're going to spend a tremendous amount of time if you haven't already trying to solve something our coaches can help resolve in less than an hour. It's a great question for them. But you can go through D&B's dashboard to dispute information. The reason this happens is D&B assigns a credit profile to every business that has a separate location. So you have multiple business addresses. This could actually create this problem, or multiple different businesses. So hopefully that helps answer that. We're in Nevada LLC, foreign filed, registered in Georgia. I'm able to offer a service to company in other states. You absolutely are. There's no restrictions on offering it in other states. I think I joined the wrong webinar. Oh no. Well, we're glad that you came in and said hi to us anyway. So thanks for coming in and saying hello. And I'm still trying to get to everybody's questions here. So if you're still typing them in, let me know. For startup, we'll definitely call your team. Can we see what purchase alter bands would say? Do we to ensure? Okay, from the web alter. Okay, we talked about that. Well, could definitely call your team so I can get the best. Yes, I'd love to talk with you as well, Sharon. So give us a call. How long does it take to build business credit or start getting funding? So you can build business credit and get your fundability done and get your initial starter vendors within a week. Then they report. It takes about 30 days for them to report. About 30 days into the process, that's when you start getting credit at almost every major retailer, from Sam's Club to Staples and everywhere in between. And then you get about fleet credit about 30 days later. And then to be able to come in and get all different kinds of Visa card, MasterCard, auto financing, that's the end of the process. Takes about 6 months to get to the very end of business credit building. It's about 3 years longer if you're trying on your own, from what we found. Business lending, you can get right away too. You can oftentimes get same day funding or 48-hour funding if you have revenue. If you don't have revenue, then a lot of funding out there you can get usually within 1 to 3 weeks on the business side. So just so you know. I know you talk about cost of program, the assistance of financing. I know I do talk really fast. So it would have been helpful if you could display the information about the benefits and costs of the program and the Friday deadline. I didn't realize the webinar would run in a couple hours. I have to sign off. Okay. So again, I have, and I'll go back, but keep in mind that what I try to do is I went through this twice. And with this twice, I'm showing all the prices you can see here in the payments. And then we've also gone through and looked at everything that comes with the program. And I try to go through it twice as well. So hopefully that's still all clear. But I try not to run through it too fast. As a matter of fact, as you can see, every one of these I went through item by item. And then I also pulled these up twice. So hopefully you got this. If not, you can take a screenshot. You'll also get a playback about that if you help. As you can see, it's 2 hours. And again, I'm talking as fast as I'm talking. So there's just a lot of content and a lot of questions. But I always try to go through every one of these item by item and then show all of this twice so you can see everything that's included. And then also the reason I always leave this up as the last slide is because if you just go to creditsuite.com/webinar, all of that's listed there as well. So everything that comes with the program, the pricing, everything is listed right there for you as well. So hopefully that helps make it a little easier for you. Okay. And the playback will help, and we will get to the playback as well. And again, I know I talk fast. My brain works fast, and I try to consciously slow myself down. I'm just incapable of it because it's just the way that my mind normally works. So I appreciate everybody's patience with that as well. Okay. Okay. I'm going to make a few more questions here. Okay. Ultimately, talk about that. Best way to get in contact. Okay. If the company already has an EIN bank account, just needs funding, we can help you with that as well. Just give us a call. If you're just looking for business lending, we can help you with all that. But again, the question you want to ask is then, just because you have the basics of your business set up, is all this stuff congruent? That's what we can help with on the call. We do a finance assessment for free, and we'll look at your fundability and tell you at least if things aren't congruent or wrong that should be changed. So we can give you some of that advice. All you have to do is give us a call. We'll talk through that. Been a Credit Suite partner a number of 3 years. But I do have 11 accounts reporting with a $10,000 golf fleet credit card. Man, that's awesome. So congratulations on your success. Look, business credit building, it's you get out what you put in. It's really that simple. I mean, I've got clients that have been with us a year and have over $1 million. I've got clients that have been with us a year and never even got their business started. Like, it's a crazy thing. I don't even know. But it's what you get, what you put in. People like Christine that have $1 million in business credit, she's getting credit, using it to grow the business. And that's exactly why she secured so much, because she continues to put a lot in to grow the business. So some things to think about there as well. Okay, good presentation, better than the cafe. I appreciate that, Cavado in Miami. Well, the problem in Miami is I only have, limited time, so I have to rush through and only do a fraction of this. But thank you. Awesome program. Will be in touch. Can you enlarge to get your screenshot? Can you enlarge to get screenshots? Thank you. And again, everybody, if you watch this to the end, you're going to get a playback of this. I'm not exactly sure what everybody is asking for screenshots for, but I'll give this screenshots. I think this is what you're asking for. And keep in mind, if you're on the webinar, you're going to get a playback. It'll be delivered to you tomorrow. And if you're on a live channel right now, you can go to our Credit Suites Facebook, my LinkedIn profile. You can also go to Credit Suites. Wait a minute. So I don't even know where we are. Facebook. And then we're also on YouTube. So our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, and this is also live in our groups. You can get playbacks as well. So all of that, hopefully that'll help you. And then here, if you want to take a screenshot of this as well, that's what you're also getting as a partner. And then this is what you're getting as a partner. So hopefully that helps you there as well. Calling as soon as the live event ends. Next time, waiting for a call back. Okay, so again, if you don't get our team, leave a message after this. I literally have thousands of people, so we get overwhelmed. But if you ever call, leave our team a message. We'll get back to you as well. Here's our number. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you have any other questions, I don't want to leave you hanging. It's just I've kept you all for 2 hours, so I'm going to end this now. And if you have any other questions, then what we'll do is just give us a call. We'll make sure that your questions are answered. We'll make sure that you're taken care of. I appreciate everybody saying thanks. Awesome. Thank you for providing this info. I've been looking at your program for a while. I'm so happy. That's awesome. And hopefully I answered all of the questions, because so many people, I'm so bad at giving out free info and then forgetting to tell people what we actually do, that it literally takes people coming in and saying, hey, will you tell me what you do? For me to actually do this. So I'm going to wrap up. If you have any other questions, direct them to our team. I'm going to close down the chats now. Thank you very much for tuning in, spending a couple hours with me. I try to provide a lot of value so you walk out with a lot of info that you didn't have. 10,000 in bonuses through this Friday. All you have to do is give us a call at 877-600-2487. So thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Really look forward to working with all of you. It's so rewarding to help business owners like Sam and so many of the people I showed today to be able to get the money and watch the cool things they do with it. So hopefully get a chance to be able to help you succeed in this space. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Look forward to talking to you on our next training webinar. We talk about more cool ways